What's up, everybody? It's Liz Black from Sunday Praise, and I am super. Do I always tell you I'm excited? But I'm super excited right now because I have the one and only, and I can say he's the genius, and you can too. Just his love for music, his understanding of music, how he shares his music. Donald Lawrence is with us in the house today. Hey, Donald.
Hey, what's up? It's so good to see you.
You too.
Yeah.
You know, to have you in the house right now is always exciting to get a chance to sit down and talk with you because you really allow the music to just live.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. I always tell people I'm a really true creative. Like I love the music, I love the art of it. I definitely love the soul of it, and I love the spirit of it as well. So yeah, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I'm honored.
How do you hear the music? Are you in the supermarket and boom, God gives it to you? Or are you sleeping and he wakes you up?
When it comes to songwriting, I kind of write during life. Just doing life. I don't really go to the studio to write or sit at a piano to write. I just write when I am inspired as I'm just doing life.
Right.
I feel like I heard Michael Jackson say this, and I kind of agree. He said that songs exist somewhere in another realm, like in another ether, and different people are the conduit for them to be show up in this particular realm. And I do believe that songs kind of exist, and God chooses the people he wants the songs to come through, and you're like the messenger. Wow. So I think that's when at least I feel like the songs that really touch people are the songs that come through that way. So I just always try to make sure that I'm open to hear what I'm supposed to write and say to everybody. So that's really pretty much how I create. I let it be very organic and very authentic, and it's just a part of my DNA,
Yeah, so really in your spirit, you're like, this is a hit. You know right away, don't you?
Yeah. I don't even know that I know that it's a hit as much as I know this is going to resonate with a lot of people. But usually the song that resonates with a lot of people ends up being a hit. Because, the one thing that I think great writers, and definitely the people that inspired me, they didn't try to write hits. They tried to write songs that was going to touch people, hit people where they were in that particular time. So for me, I'm always wanting to hear the message that I think is going to really help someone during a specific time, because we go through life. And I always tell people, life is always speaking. All you got to do is just write about it. It's always speaking. It's always teaching.
Right.
So I just kind of write more so from that. I think when you get into trying to write a hit, it becomes more like making cookies, and it might work, but you can tell that it doesn't move you the same way. So Andre Crouch would always say, make sure the lyric has a tear in it. And I try to approach songwriting and creating that way, that it's authentic and something that I'm feeling and approaching.
And not boxing God in, right?
At
Just
all,
be free.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody could even try to box God in. He made everything, so even the box. So
right?
So, I mean,
wow.
All things are Him, and He is everything. So our mind limits Him, but He's never been limited.
I love it.
Yeah.
Y'all, we're going to have an offering plate after this. We're going to send a cash app over to Donald. How do you feel? You've been through so many eras of music, I feel, and have really worked with some greats. And what do we need to do now? What can we do now to make sure that we continue to keep the gospel music alive and well? I don't like cookie cutter music.
I don't either, and I'm always trying to be very mindful of how I speak, because I always said I didn't want to be somebody that got old and start talk about everybody's work. I want to be one of those.
Right.
But what I will say from a pedagogical perspective, that when you've studied and you've worked with some of the greats, and their level of creativity was here, to try to minimize it to something just to make it work for a certain time, I'm just not from that. Bach didn't do it, Beethoven didn't do it.
That's right.
So, I mean, why are we doing it? If I learn this way, you're going to have to do it this way. And I think that our community is so just incredibly talented. To watch them minimize their talent to fit a certain sound or a certain chart, it just really, really, it bothers me because I'm like, you're so gifted. Why would you do that? Like, if you've studied calculus, why are you making everybody believe you're basic math?
Yeah,
That's
right.
Not who you are.
Simple arithmetic.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not to be complicated to be complicated. Do what your art inspires. Just don't conform just because this is what this is, you know.
Right.
So that's how I feel.
So when we're looking at the music now, I know that you took a while to bring back Walter Hawkins Conference.
Oh yeah.
But you use that as an opportunity to be able to share the music at that high level again.
Yeah. It actually is Edwin's conference. He started a thing called Music and Arts Seminar. I think he started in the late 70s, early 80s. And it was to celebrate, like, I think, contemporary music and gospel music as an art form. So, you know, I wasn't there back when it first started, but later on, I kind of joined. He asked me would I hang around, and I did. And as he got a little older and he started getting sick, he asked me if I would keep it going for me moving forward. So he kind of left the conference to me.
You got the baton, huh?
Well, if you know me, I'm not really like a conference person or a person that's going to do an event, but you know, I promised him that I would. So I relaunched it in London in 2023. And took me a minute. I wanted to take a few years to figure out what I would do, and I had an idea. Well, you know, we have so much in America already. Let's do it somewhere else. So I went around Europe, got to know a lot of the choir masters and choirs and singers, and we launched it 2023 in London. All of them flew into London, and we just had a great 3-day choral retreat and recorded an album. And it's called, I kind of rebranded it. Instead of Music and Arts Seminar, it's called Music and Arts Global, and that's what we rebranded the event or the retreat as now. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you took the step and you went forward. That's wonderful.
It's a lot of work, and I don't know how. Like, we do it every 2 years. I don't know how anybody does those things every year. Because 2 years, I could do it every 3 years, honestly. So it's a lot of work. But I'm really proud of what we were able to accomplish, and people were so touched and so inspired, and it was just beautiful to see everybody come together. And a lot of people don't realize that when they hear the music. It sounds like a Black American choir, but really it's 80% white Europeans. It's maybe 20% like Black Americans and some maybe Black British. But other than that, most of the choir is like 75% white Europeans.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a great sound, and they love the music. They study it. They study the history, and they honor it. Like, they love the sound. They want that soulful gospel sound. That's what they want.
And you appreciate it. I mean, you could work with people when they appreciate it
it
like that.
Yes.
It's like they become a sponge, and you were just giving out, I'm sure.
Yeah, they love that authentic sound, the soul, the artistry, the skill set. They absolutely love it. Yeah.
Let's talk about, you have music coming out. Words is out now, but the album is being released.
Yeah, the album's
Let's talk about the single Words real quick and how that even came together.
Words is featuring Blanche McAllister, who was one of my singers from Donald Lawrence and Company, as well as Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers. That song I actually wrote for my album, The Law of Confession, and we didn't record it. And it was just around. So Blanche asked me, she said, Donald, we didn't record that song. Would you allow me to sing it? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember. We didn't get to it. Because honestly, after we sang There Is a King in You, that was it for the session. We couldn't get to anything else.
Wow.
So it was around, and she wanted to sing it. And I said, sure. Then I said, hey, I'm relaunching Music and Arts in London. I think I want to record it live. Will you come over and sing it? So that's how we put it into the set list, and she sang it. And the song really is speaking about understanding the power of words. You know, the scripture says the power of life and death is in the tongue.
Yes.
Pastor Winston, my pastor, always teaches us that when God blew the breath of life into man, we hear the term man became a living soul, but that's loosely translated as man became a speaking spirit. We are spirits that speak.
Yes.
And like God, when he speaks, his word goes forth and it doesn't come back void. When we speak our words, because we are his kids, we are his offspring, when we speak, our words go out, they accomplish what they are sent out to do, and they don't come back bored.
I want to scream, but yes,
yeah.
yes.
So that's why we have to guard our words, because we're really built in the image of our Creator. So this song is just telling. It really says, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in the Father's sight."
Yeah.
May the words I speak touch somebody's life. So just get to the point to where if you're going to say something, make sure it inspires somebody. Now, as I've gotten older, I understand why older black people said, if you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all. This is deeper than most people think, So if you ain't gonna say, just don't say nothing at all. Don't let your words go and accomplish something you didn't really want it to do. You know.
Do you know, every time I finish interviewing with you, I always feel like I have gained more knowledge or a revelation has hit. And I have to tell you, Donald, anytime there's an artist that has come from Donald Lawrence and Company or has worked with you, you've always made sure that the artist management part has taken place in their lives. So I already know that if they get booked, they're going to be on time. They're going to be professional. They're going to know how to, and that's missing in some areas now. But thank you for that.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Because I already know.
For mentioning that too, because definitely the people who have come from my stable, the people that I've mentored, it's not just your talent, it's everything. You need to be on time, you need to be respectful.
Yes.
You need to realize that without people like you, you might not be heard, So it's not just about you wanting to become this superstar artist and then, just kind of kick everybody to the curb or just make everybody serve you.
Yeah.
I think that the best leader is the best server. So if you're going to be a leader, you have to have a servant's heart, So I really do stay on them about just being kind and being on time and being professional and being articulate and understanding what you're singing about, not just be so overwhelmed with your own talent,
Yeah, I just love that. We, unfortunately, I could sit and talk to you all day, but I want to make sure we talk about the album.
Yep,
How many songs are on there?
Well, it's like an extended EP. It's 8 songs.
Okay.
We recorded definitely words there. Our second digital release is called El Shaddai. It features Pastor Rodney Posey, a great friend from Cincinnati, Ohio. I went to the Cincinnati Conservatory, and I've known Rodney for years. He's an incredible singer. Always sang worship music since the 80s.
Wow.
And he is the feature on this particular cut. I was able to do a couple of things. A lot of people were singing the song Revelations, Hallelujah, Salvation and Glory. That original writer is a guy by the name of Jeffrey LaValle, who was out of the Michigan area. And most people didn't realize it because the song got so big and it was so global and so viral. I flew him over to London to teach the song himself, and we recorded that. So people got to hear his testimony and see who really wrote that song. And Jeffrey was always like virtuoso on piano and writer, and so I was glad to see him there. I also brought LaShawn Pace's daughter over.
Wow.
And she really sounds so much like LaShawn. So we recut I Know I've Been Changed as a tribute to her mom.
Nice.
Edwin really brought Sean to the forefront. So during this conference, she would always be there with him. So I decided to bring his daughter, her daughter over, just to, as we relaunched, to really kind of salute a lot of those different moments, So it was really, really cool. The choir was about 800 people, and it was people from Spain, from France, from Ireland, from Germany, from the UK, from Latvia. It's just people
amazing.
From everywhere.
And when's the next one?
The next one is soon, like in a few days, in Sweden.
Already?
Stockholm, Sweden, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm doing it every 2 years, so we did that in 2023, and we're in 2025.
That's the last time I think we spoke then.
Yeah, so it starts May 1st.
Okay.
In Stockholm, Sweden. I'm headed there in a few days.
Okay.
To be there all week and get everything set up.
Well, thanks for coming and hanging out here. The name of the album?
The name of the album is Global Love Alive, a music and arts production. It releases May 2nd. It's 8 songs, extended EP. First single was Words, and the next is El Shaddai, and the third single is featuring a guy from New York area, a young guy who I think is brilliant, genius. One had the hottest choir. His name is Vincent Bohannon.
Oh, Vincent, yes.
So he came, and man, all those choir members, they loved him, and they sung his song. So I think he's a great writer, just a great person, spirit. And so he calls me Unc, and I call him nephew. So anytime I can bring him around, he's around. So he's going to be with me in Sweden as well. So
that's
yeah,
wonderful.
it's good to see him starting to, get the global look as well. So,
and that's good. And look, he calls me auntie, so he knows he can have whatever he needs over this way.
He's a good guy. His choir is incredible. So I'm really happy for him and happy to just, support him and show him love and really continue to push him like people pushed me.
That's nice that you're able to embrace those that are coming up.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because if someone is not there to help them, we're not sure, how we're flowing sometimes.
I always say we become to help others become. You just have to know who your assignments are. It's not always everybody.
Yeah.
But there are some people you just know that they're assigned to me, and I need to make sure that they get what they need so they can continue.
Amen. This is good right here. I'm sorry that we have to end. How can they, get all your information, stay connected with you?
Oh, yeah. You can reach me online. I'm at Donald Lawrence on Instagram, at Donald Lawrence on Twitter, at Donald Lawrence on TikTok, although I got to be a TikToker, but I don't really do it as much.
We get a little TikTok.
Yeah. At Donald Lawrence Music on Facebook and at Donald Lawrence on personal Facebook.
Okay.
So and my website is donaldlawrence.com.
We need to support, get the music.
Yeah.
I always
Words
say
is out
buy.
now. And
Words.
El Shaddai is out now. Yeah, on all digital platforms.
And then we can get the album
May 2nd.
May 2nd, so you can get it now. Make sure y'all pick it up by the time this comes out. So thank you.
Thank you for the years of supporting my music.
I will always.
Years, really years. So thank you, because the reason why somebody like me can have timeless music is because someone like you plays it and keeps it in the listener's ear. So I really honor you and appreciate you.
And I appreciate you. And you always have an open door here.
Thank you.
Anytime you want to come on the show, you have the opportunity to do that. Look, this has been a wonderful time. Make sure Sunday mornings, 7 a.m., you are tuning in to Sunday Praise, and stay connected with me on all my social media, Liz Black Live. Donald, I love you and thank you.
Always.
And until next time, go in peace, grow in grace. Don't just go to church, be the church.